Lock up your bikes and feel the heat. It's time for another episode of Podcast Gagotoku, aka Like a Podcast. I am your host, Argyle, and with me, as always, is Jordan.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
This has been a week.
It's been 1 week.
It's been 1 week since we recorded our last episode of Podcast Gagotoku, aka Like a Podcast, the only Yakuza podcast hosted by us. I don't know if there's others out there. I haven't checked yet.
If there's another Yakuza podcast hosted by me, I'm gonna shit.
That would be pretty wild. Our doppelgangers are hosting the other one. That's the one. That's the podcast that our original podcast title, Mad Pod of Shimano, is out there, and they're sort of our rivals. How have you been?
I've been doing all right. You know, I had a few days off of work, and that was pretty nice. And then I got called into work right when it was like about podcast recording time. Well, not really, but like the day before. So I didn't have time to like really prepare for that, and that's why we're recording this a day later than what is supposed to be our recording time, but usually ends up being our recording time anyways.
What are you gonna do?
You know how it is. I've been trucking.
What are you gonna do?
I've been sucking.
I don't know how to go. You know what? Podcast is over. Podcast is canceled. Ending the recording. I'm microwaving my copy of Yakuza 0. Just kidding. I would never do that. I would never hurt Kiryu, who's on my disc.
He's on the disc. He lives there.
He lives there. It's like, Toy Story. When I'm not playing, he gets up and he reads his book about like how to do.
I think you'll find it's actually more like Wreck-It Ralph.
It's a lot like Wreck-It Ralph in that in the sequel to Yakuza 0, which I believe is Yakuza 0 2.
Yeah, Kiryu stands in front of he logs onto the internet and he sees a lot of people saying, "Wow, smelly Kiryu, lonely man living alone
he gets bullied. He gets
office.
cyberbullied."
Yeah.
I think Kiryu is uncyberbullyable. I don't think you could cyberbully Kiryu.
I don't think you can real life bully him either.
I mean, like, I don't think it's not even just a matter of like, oh, if you made fun of Kiryu, he'd hurt you. I don't think you could theoretically say a thing to Kiryu that would get to him enough to like make him upset.
Yeah,
because I don't think he lets things get to him. I think the only thing you could do to bully Kiryu is maybe make fun of one of his friends or family members.
Yeah, he's like that one tweet from, who was it, Tyler the Creator, like, cyberbullying ain't real, just log off.
Well, the other thing about Kiryu that makes him uncyberbullyable is that he'd never log on.
Oh yeah, never. Well, okay,
not
except for the one time.
Not until Yakuza 6.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll talk about our
We'll get to when he finally logs on.
the moment that Kiryu logs on and what he does with internet access.
Yeah.
So this is chapter 14 of Yakuza 0, Unwavering Bonds. I don't know about you, but this is a chapter that I've kind of been dreading.
Well, is it for what reason? Let's clarify.
There's one thing about this chapter that makes me very excited, and then there's one thing about this chapter that makes me very upset.
So is the one thing that makes you so let me take just a hazard a guess. The thing that makes you excited is the story part, the actual plot. The part that makes you upset and cranky and angry is the real estate portion that you have been forced to do.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about it that way, because every time I open my copy of Yakuza 0 to do the real estate, I'm kind of a little ticked off. That being said, it was just from a story perspective, but we'll get there. But
should we put a content warning at the front of this one? Probably
for just violence. For violence and bad feels.
Some torture, some killing.
There's torture in this one. Yeah, someone dies, but it's not with someone that it's fun when they die. So just be aware of that, because it's probably the most upsetting. It's like one of the two most upsetting deaths in the entire series, I would say.
Yeah.
So just be ready for that.
Yeah.
So we begin our chapter. Kiryu has Makoto. He's brought her to Kamurocho, the safest city in the world for her to be in right now.
Yeah, and he's brought her to the safest section of the safest city in the world, the homeless park in Kamurocho.
Well, it is the safest part of the city.
Yeah,
especially
now.
It's
the safest for Kiryu and his compatriots.
For sure. It's the Yakuza-free part of the city. Because as we all know, this game is about playing as precisely 0 Yakuza. So we go back to our friend Bearded Homeless Man, who gets more screen time than most other characters in this game, but also still never gets a name.
He's probably had more speaking lines than Shibusawa at this point.
Yeah.
But he's still just Bearded Homeless Man.
He's still Bearded Homeless Man. There are some other characters in the later series who definitely don't get as much screen time as Bearded Homeless Man, who are like beloved series classics.
You know, like every single goon that you fight, all of them named.
All of them. Yeah, that's true. Every time you get into a fight, the
guy that Kiryu, drop kicked out of a window who gets severely owned later this episode. Spoilers.
Yeah. So, Bearded Homeless Man is going to keep Makoto safe, in his shack while we go.
Well,
and
when
find
Kiryu
Tachibana.
comes up with Makoto, he's like, "Hey, man, why are you like bringing a girl here? This isn't the place to be like." You know, he thinks that Kiryu's gonna like.
Little funny joke, just some
he's gonna get Randy, Austin Powers voice in the Homeless Man.
He's gonna like climb
shack.
behind like a screen with a silhouette on it in the shack, and then he's gonna make it look like he's doing like a poo poo or a pee pee, and it's gonna be really funny, kind of like Austin Powers.
It's gonna be really funny.
What if Kiryu made it look like he was giving birth, and that would be really funny also. But Kiryu explains the situation. I like this chapter because Kiryu has to explain the entire plot of Yakuza 0 to like 3 characters. He explains it, because he explains it to the Bearded Homeless Man. He's like, all right, here's the deal. There's an empty lot, and then it like fades out, then it fades back in, and the guy's like, I see, I understand the stakes of the story now.
I understand now. Me, Bearded Homeless Man.
Me, Bearded Homeless Man. I am no longer just a character viewing the story. I am now an active participant.
I still don't have a name.
I will never have a name. This is going to be something for when they like make the manga. A lot of Yakuza fans are going to be like asking the writer like, "Hey, what's the Bearded Homeless Man's name?"
Yeah, look, he's got a page on the Yakuza wiki just like Cool Hair Briggs guy does on the Full Metal Alchemist wiki.
Well, I'm out here, the fans, the real fans, when they go and they attend Bearded Homeless Con, and we're all asking the questions at the panels that no one is brave enough to answer.
I'm going to all the biggest cons. I'm going to PAX. I'm going to PAX East, PAX South. I'm just going to all the PAXs. I'm dressing up as Bearded Homeless Man, and everybody's lining up to take pictures with me because he's the most iconic character in Yakuza 0.
It's Bearded Homeless Man. Just give him a name. I didn't even think about what you said about, every character has a health bar, and every health bar has a name, except for Bearded Homeless Man, who doesn't get to have a name.
Because he's never in a fight.
Foreign Doctor? That's right.
Scene,
if we had to beat the shit out of Bearded Homeless Man, we'd know exactly what his name was. So maybe we should be happy that we don't know his name. So we need to go we need to link up with Tachibana. Not yet, not in this game. Maybe in another one. We need to link up with Tachibana, but unfortunately he's ghosting us. He's not answering his phone. He's being very rude about it.
Yeah, he left Kiryu on red, as it were.
Tachibana, I sent you a text message. I sent you a text of, you see that picture I posted on my Instagram, and I sent it to you, and it looks like you saw it, but you didn't say anything about it.
Hey, Tachibana, you up?
Tachibana, you getting dialysis right now? No? All right. So,
eyes emoji.
Eyes emoji, nice kidneys. We need to go find him. So we go to Little Asia, and that's where he is. Now, I will say one thing, because I don't know when else we can do our side content, that between the time that Kiryu left West Park and then the time that Kiryu went to Little Asia, that's when I spent about 4.5 hours of my day grinding away at
I think it's got to be now, huh?
I spent 4.5 hours of my day cranking hard all day in the Sugita building.
Yeah,
just really trying to capture the last of my properties.
Do you want to talk about that?
It sounds like you're my therapist.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your real estate enterprise?
No. Don't make me talk about it. It's okay, because good news, everyone. I don't have to do this again. I did it 1.5 times, basically, but I finally finished the actual... There's one more piece of the real estate, but This is the last time where I'm going to complain about having to buy properties. Excuse me. So, we'll do our side content now. So we'll start with the fifth billionaire, the Media King.
I hate this guy.
Yeah, this guy sucks. He's a disco man. He's a disco man. He also doesn't have a name, as none of them do. Once you the Media King's properties are like at the north part of Kamurocho. It's like the hotel district is what it's called, and then the Park Boulevard and Shichifuku Street, where the Maharaja and the Pocket Circuit is. Which, by the way,
is one of
I'm so glad we did the Pocket Circuit episode, because could you imagine if I had gotten to this point and I didn't have all of the properties and I said, what property am I missing? And then I look on the walkthrough and it
Pocket
says,
Circuit Stadium.
To get this one, you have to beat Pocket Circuit. And I would just, this podcast would be canceled. We would not be doing this anymore. I would just be like, nope. So I'm glad we did that episode. I'm glad we did that. So you have to buy up all these properties. At this point, they are so expensive. They're all between like 900,000, and then the top one is like, it's like 900 million, and then like
that's more like
billion. My bad. Yeah, it's between 900 million and 1.3 billion yen per property, and there's 10 of them minus the one that you start with. And at most at this point in the game, with like mostly fully upgraded properties around the city, you're gonna rake in about like not enough to buy one per collection. So you have to do 2 collections each time to buy one property. So I was doing a lot of waiting. I just had my game on idle while I was doing other things, collecting, and then I would buy. And then also, because each district takes slightly longer to collect on each time, this one took the longest, which means upgrading it took the longest, because you can only upgrade once per collection. Other piece of good news is that I did go back and I did both of Miracle Johnson's sub-stories so I could have him to upgrade my properties, because boy, does he help out with this. So if you're playing this, Miracle's your guy for Media King, because he has all the good stats. We learn about after you take over 30% of his shares, we learn that Media King, he's this like wannabe foreigner guy. He always talks with like, he either says words in Spanish or in Italian. He's like, oh, molto bene. Hey, what's up?
Hey, you ever met my good friend Papillon Cato?
So, Yamanoi tells us that he's the best of the billionaires and he's no pushover. He's used to be a famous disco dancer and he opened up a lucrative talent agency. And they also call him the Disco King, which when he said Disco King, I realized that my day was about to get a whole lot shittier. Because then I realized what his minigame was going to be, and it's my least favorite of them.
Oh, so, you don't like the disco minigame?
I'm really bad at the disco minigame.
Oh, okay.
Is the problem. So, then Kiryu says like, well, it sounds like he sounds not so bad, but I bet he's up to all sorts of bad things on the side. And Yamanoi says like all this stuff like he pimps out the young upcoming talent to rich people for money. And then Marina says, wow, what an awful man. And then the Media King says, hey, that's me and I'm right here. And the Media King has been sitting in the office the entire time at Kiryu's desk. And he is very upset that they call him the Media King because he's actually the Disco King. And then he does like a disco pose, and that's very funny. And he invites Kiryu to a dance party, and then Kiryu says, I'd rather dance with the devil than dance with you. And then Disco King says, well, I'm going to get you to have a dance battle with me. I'll think of something. I'll see you at 50%, Kiryu. And then he walks out. Buy off more properties. This is about 2 hours later in my life. And we come back, and 50% of the shares I've now collected, and we go back to Sugita, and deja vu, Yamanoi, flat on his ass, on the ground, missing, and Marina's missing, like that beloved Nintendo game. Kiryu needs to go to save Marina, and Yamanoi tells us that he took her to Discotheque Saloon Maharaja. We go to Maharaja. I save at the save point because I know where this is headed. And Media King is here, and he says, oh, don't worry, Marina's fine. She's right over there. And then Marina is, like, dancing. The Marina dancing animation is pretty funny. But she's like, Kiryu, help me, as she's dancing, because he says that, and she's, like, surrounded by goons. And he says like, "Oh, if you don't challenge me to the dance battle, then I'm gonna make her dance till she dies of exhaustion." And then he challenges you to a dance battle for 10% of your holdings, and I cannot afford to lose this one. So I try over and over and over and over and over again, and finally I did it. It took me so many tries, but I did win, and I got 10%. Which was good, because it means that I have to do less time playing the real estate today. And then you say Marina. You go outside, and Marina thanks you. And this is another funny joke of the real estate, is that Marina says, "Oh, Mr. President, I think I," and then Kiryu says, "Okay, I have other things I need to do. All right, watch yourself on your way back. Stay safe. Goodbye." And then she gets really mad because she likes Kiryu. Get it? Finally, we've reached 90% shares. It's time to meet the Media King on his home turf, which is the Shichifuku parking lot, right next to Mr. Try and Hit Me, who we've been neglecting the entire game. This is it. This is the final billionaire. He's like, "Kiryu, you have
this
what it takes."
This fight fucking sucks. I hate this. Okay.
Oh, this fight sucks so bad. He's really irritating, and he's got a blue health bar, which is it's like, what, 4 health bars, I think?
Yeah, that's 4 health bars.
4 health bars, so it takes a long-ass time. Media King says, "And then, Jordan, for your final challenge, I'm going to waste your time even more with my 4 health bars." And he's really hard to land a hit on because he's always blocking and he's always hitting really quickly. But I can afford to fill my entire inventory up with healing items. Oh, did I tell you that I almost lost 1.3 billion yen to Mr. Shakedown today?
Oh my god.
I was left with like one little sliver of health and like two staminums left in my pocket, but it was the most terrified I'd ever been. I almost lost so much money. So far my day not going so well, but we defeat the Media King. But it's not over yet. Because remember the mysterious man? We finally get to find out who he is. It's okay, he's not a billionaire. He's a super billionaire. I wonder if there's a name for that. He's a super billionaire, aka the Finance King. And he has been watching Kiryu this whole time, and it turns out all the billionaires were his puppets all along. And not only that, but he used to work with Yamanoi. They used to work in the same office.
Yes.
And he said, he basically looked at, and he said, "Wow, we could be making lots of money if we did capitalism good." And Yamanoi said, "But what if I was an ethical landlord?" And
we could make money if we exploited people.
What if we exploited people for money? And then Yamanoi says, "Well, I already do that, but I don't want to do it more than I'm currently doing."
Yeah, I don't want to do it, but like in a bad way. I want to
exploit people in a good way. And then Finance King says, "Well, I'm gonna go play the money game," and Kamurocho was a gem that hadn't been touched. This is a part of the Real Estate Royale story that I love so much, because this entire game is about the Yakuza basically having an entire all-out war over one tiny piece of real estate in Kamurocho. Meanwhile, the Finance King has apparently been working to monopolize real estate in the entire rest of the city.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a really funny detail of the story that I don't think the writers really
it's kind of weird and incongruous.
No, but it's fun. It's just this is side content. It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
I would almost go as far as to say this is non-canonical, except for the fact that Kiryu brings this up in other games sometimes. Rarely. Very, very rarely. So,
in the games that came after this.
Yeah, but that's because they had to figure out how to work Yakuza 0 into canon.
Yeah.
So Yamanoi refused to do capitalism, parentheses, evil. He only wanted to do capitalism, parentheses, less evil. So Finance King went off on his own. He put together the 5 billionaires to help him take over all of Kamurocho, and no one was getting in his way until Kiryu came along. And then he tells Kiryu that he's going to steal all of his properties. And then Media King basically is like, "Oh, come with you, sir. Thank you for your service." And then he says, "I was always planning on getting rid of you, Media King. You're the worst of them all." And then 2 of Finance King's lackeys come along. And we have to fight them. But Media King joins the fight, Once again,
boy.
let's just completely ignore the fact that we learned at the beginning of the chapter of the real estate that the Media King was doing all these horrible crimes, but now he's on our side and we love it.
Yay.
Same with all the others. So we beat up the guys, and then Marina runs up to us and says, "Kiryu, you've got to come back to the office right now. Something terrible's happened." And that's it. That's all of it.
That's all we're doing this week?
That's all we're doing. We're gonna finish up
Shock.
real estate next time we next time we get Kiryu in chapter 17?
Finale.
Is that the last time?
Yeah, dog.
Hell yeah. That's good. We'll get it then.
I did a sub story. Can I talk about it?
Absolutely.
So the sub story I did is number, let me look up what number it is. Oh, it's number 1. The Visionary Fortune Teller.
Oh boy.
This is a good one.
This one's a good one. I didn't know if we were going to get to this one in our playthrough.
Yeah. I'd never done it, so I really wanted to do it before we
finished up. We're like on the cusp of running out of sub stories for this one, or like the good ones at least, because both of us are too afraid. We're both too much of cowards to do the one where Kiryu buys an adult magazine for a little kid.
Yeah, Sam almost did it, but he chickened out.
He was so close to doing it. I'm like, well, I guess we only have one Kiryu chapter left in the finale, so I guess we'll never get to talk about that one.
That'll be the last thing he does before he heads off to the final battle, is buy a kid a porno mag.
What's that one called? The shrink-wrapped dream?
Yes.
God. Okay, let's talk about the fortune teller.
Yeah, the visionary fortune teller. So Kiryu's walking down the street and he hears 2 women talking about frivolous things, as women are ought to want to do. They're talking
about shopping.
Yeah, they do be shopping, and they do be talking about fortune tellers. So there's this rumor of a fortune telling lady who hangs out by the Champion District. She charges an absurd amount, 1 million yen, to tell your fortune, but apparently she's always right. Kiryu, being a smart man, says...
Citation needed.
He says, "I have no time for such frivolity, and I don't care about this." But as he's walking by the Champion District, coincidentally, he happens upon a woman in a robe with a little table with a crystal ball on it. And she calls out to him. She says, "Young man, can I please... I need your assistance." And he says, "Please, I don't want my fortune told, thanks."
"For 1 million yen, this bottle of aha water can be yours."
Oh, in that case, yeah, here's my money. But no, he says, "No, I'm not looking to get my fortune told." She says, No. I don't want to tell your fortune. I need your help. I need you to, like, protect me for a little bit. See, I told some guy's fortune, and he's not going to be very happy. He's not very happy about it. So pretty soon he's going to come back to try to beat me up. So I need you to beat him up in return. And wouldn't you know it, right then some guy walks up and is like, Hey, you old broad, you gave me a bad fortune, and my girlfriend, she broke up with me because you said I'm gonna become poor and destitute and start eating trash. But that's not true.
I love this guy who's like, "Honey, I'm back. I just spent $1 million to get my fortune told. She said that you were gonna break up with me." And she's like, "You spent 1 million yen on a fortune? I'm out of here."
Well, I mean, him and his girlfriend were walking down the street, and like, so she was there when this was happening.
This is the guy who bought a $4,000 Master Chief suit when they had no money.
No, he isn't, because he says, I ain't gonna be poor. I've been buying up properties left and right. No way this is gonna go bust.
Oh, Media King, nice to see you.
So I'm gonna beat you up because now I'm out of a girlfriend. And Kiryu, of course, steps in,
the woman
beats him
defender.
up. Yeah, smashes his teeth in, rips them out with pliers.
Ah.
Yeah, and the guy runs off. It doesn't matter. And the fortune teller is very, very grateful. She says, Thank you, young man. I usually charge 1 million yen for my services, but for what you just did for me, I'll do it for free. And he's like, all right, fine.
It's content.
Yeah, I'll try anything once as long as it's content. So she reads his palm. She's like, oh.
I feel like if a fortune teller ever like read Kiryu's fortune without spoiling any of the events of the games, like this is nothing to do with what happens in his life. I just feel like she would just start screaming from the sheer amount of things that happen to him. She'd just be like, what?
Yeah, so she reads his palm and she's like, ooh, you got very pretty hands, son. This is beside the point, of course, but he does have very pretty hands.
Kiryu Kazuma pays a lot of attention to skincare.
Yeah, look, he's got a manicure routine, and he's very strict about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the they don't introduce this until the Dragon Engine, but yeah, you can
really zoom in on those pores.
Yeah,
that's like at the beginning of the game when Nishiki's like, what?
You can spend stats to buy upgrades to get like better manicure sets, better nail files, and lotions and stuff.
It's like when at the beginning of the game when Nishiki's like, Kiryu, you got to get the money, you got to get the car, the suit, and Kiryu's like, I can't because I spent all of my money getting skincare products.
It's the drill tweet, but instead of candles, it's lotion. Just hand lotion.
Ulta, $5,000. Please help me. I can't afford any of Media King's
Please
properties.
help. My Oyabun is dying. Yeah, she compliments his hands and then is like, okay, so I've got your entire future laid out in front of me. What do you want to know about, kid? And so you get some choices here, and you got to do all three. So you can hear about your future, your family, or your career.
Oh, I want to hear all. This is a good thing to have for our first season of this show.
Yeah, what do you want to hear about first?
Tell me about Kiryu's his future.
Yeah, okay. So he asks for future, like specifically, where am I going to be 10 years from now? And she says, "Oh, you're going to be in fucking jail. You're also going to be in jail."
I can't believe she actually says it.
You're also going to be in jail 15 years from now. And there's going to be a big burden on you. You're going to shoulder someone else's guilt. Like,
Oh my god.
Like take the blame for a crime that they did. And someone very, very important to you will be at a crossroads.
I wonder what that could mean.
And will you be there? Will you be there to save them, Kiryu? And he says, "Yes, of course. I will."
Of course.
Be. Yes.
All right. I want to hear about Kiryu Kazuma's family. Does this man ever fuck? Does Kiryu fuck? Does Kiryu become wife guy?
We don't hear for. Actually, we know that he doesn't fuck because she says,
"I know that
this isn't actually your children."
We know that Kiryu doesn't fuck.
But she says, "Wow, I see you wrestling with a viper in Okinawa. I see."
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh yeah, I see you wrestling a little boy."
That too. I see. I see you raising 8 children.
Damn,
and Kiryu says, "Whoa, that's wild! 8 kids? I don't know.
That's rad.
That's a lot of responsibility." And she says, "There's one in particular who you love very much.
You love one of your 8 kids the most, Kiryu.
The one who you value so much. What kind of value would you put on a child's life?" And you get a choice here. Would you
10 billion yen.
Yes. Would you value this child's life at 10 billion yen, 1 million yen, or you can't put a price on a life?
I'm so glad that 10 billion yen is one of the options.
Of course it is.
Oh, this substory is killing me.
Yeah, they're really just like.
They're really just not.
Do you get it? Did you play the other
games? Have you played the other games? No,
yeah.
This is gonna make no sense if you haven't.
So, yeah, we've heard about his family and his future. So now let's hear about his career.
This is the part where she tells you. This is the part where she tells you about the tragic backstory of what's his name's wife. How he died.
Pretty much. She says, "Oh, I see you driving a car in Fukuoka." And he's like, "What? That's kind of wild. What kind of what kind of job would I have? I guess I'd be a cab driver in that case. And she's like, yeah, you're a pretty good one too. You even use your turn signal.
Oh my fucking god.
I also see, actually I'm not gonna say what else she sees, because that one's a huge spoiler that I'm not gonna, like, that's in Game of 5 spoilers there.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, that's what she says, and then, you know, you're all finished up, you've heard all the things she has to tell you, and she says, well, one more thing before you go. Very soon, like today, you're going to bump into someone, like a young boy, and...
A little boy?
Yeah, a little boy the size of a large boy.
This is, the size of an average human mother, I would say.
Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger even.
Bigger than
she
an
says,
average human mother.
You and this boy, one day, your fates will become intertwined. And Kiryu says, that's stupid, old lady. Bye. And he walks about 5 feet before he bumps into a very tall, large, muscular 12-year-old.
A little boy that we've seen before.
With a blonde mullet, wearing a trench coat, and a
pair of stolen Bontans.
Yeah, a little tiny backpack. You bump into him and you're like, "Oh, sorry, kid," and the kid's just like, "Yeah, well, whatever, man." I guess not all school field trips are bad. You know, Kamurocho, not a bad place. And
yeah,
he's
it's a great place to bring your kids.
Yeah, and then Kiryu says, that kid, nah, and he walks off, and that's
Do you think
the end of the
Kiryu
sub-story.
Kiryu runs into the Bontan hunter, and he looks at him and he says, "That's a little boy. I know a boy when I see one," and that kid is like 12.
Yeah.
How does he do it? All right, my sub story. I'm gonna quickly go through this one because when you play Yakuza 0, we all have our own version of this one. This one's great because it rewards you for doing sub stories. So when you go into Sugita building, there's a radio. You walk in, and Yamanoi's asleep, and Marina appears to have left the radio on. And if you look at it, Kiryu's like, I don't know how to turn this thing off. My head's completely empty. But he just presses a
radio?
button.
What's this new technology?
I've never seen one of these before. He presses a button, and instead of turning off, a lively voice comes on, and he says, "Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to it's me, your pal, Kamiya Dolce.
Yay!
It's showtime!" And it's Kamiya Dolce. He's a radio broadcaster, and he's going to present our new favorite radio program. It's called Dolce de Postcard. He gets a postcard from a guy named The Thinking Driver, and he talks about this completely nonsensical
He talks about how
he
he was out driving with his wife one time, and then a street racer wrecked into them, and his wife died, and it was horrible. And he himself gave up on street racing after that.
That was what he was thinking about. But the real thing that happened is that he got a girlfriend after his wife died in a tragic street racing accident, even though he was driving home and he was driving perfectly legally and safely. Mm-hmm. And he says that he got into a huge fight with his girlfriend over what to put on fried eggs. I like to put soy sauce, but she likes to put katsu sauce or something like that. And I think that's crazy. And now we're not talking to each other. P.S. Kamiya Dolce, what do you put on your eggs? And he says he puts ketchup, and that this argument sounds saucy. But good news, The Thinking Driver. This is his third postcard, which means he wins a prize worth 1 million yen. It's a shipment of AHA water.
Oh boy!
And then Kiryu's content alarm is like going wild. He's like, wait a minute,
AHA water.
Yen. He's like, I want something that's worth 1 million yen. I
could use some more. I could use some more cases of AHA water.
I can't stop drinking that AHA water. So Marina gets back, and she's like, "Oh, the radio's on. Sorry, I forgot to turn that off." And he's like, "Where were you?" And she says, "Oh, I was just out buying some office
Please turn it back on. Please turn the radio back on."
He's like, "I need the content." She's like, "Oh, I was just buying some office supplies. Pens, paper clips, postcards." And then Kiryu's like, "This is a sign from God. I need to do this now." So he sits down at the desk that Media King was sitting at. And he says, "I need to come up with a good pen name for myself. There's 3 options. One is Kazuma Kiryu, our genius boy who we love. The other one is I love Nishiki.
I do.
And that's just a fact. And the third one is Judgment Kazi. which is the best one, obviously. I don't know if you can even pick the other two options. I've never tried because Judgment Cassie is so perfect.
I'm pretty sure if you pick them, he's just like, nah, that's stupid. Let's pick something else.
When he sits down to pick his nickname, he's like, everyone always comes up with like their favorite food or something, but that's stupid. I'll go with my favorite song, Judgment. I'll be Judgment Cassie.
Yeah.
He's so dumb. I love him. And so basically what happens in this sub-story is that the more sub-stories you do, you get an option. You get options to write about those sub-stories. And then when you come back, if it's a good one, a juicy one that Dolce Kamiya will like, or Kamiya Dolce, he'll read it on the air.
Or if it's just something like, oh, I argued with my girlfriend over what to put on eggs.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't listen. He wouldn't listen to me write about the time that like I coached a group of soft boys to act like street thugs. He said that's not interesting. But if I tell him about the time that like I helped a dominatrix, he loves that. So yeah, unfortunately, because of the way that we do the podcast, I have not done that many sub-stories of Kiryu. But thankfully, I had done the Miracle Johnson ones today, so I could have him on my team. So I had just enough to get all three of them done.
Nice.
So which really worked out for me in the end. So I did the S&M club one with the dominatrix, which also the actual like concept, like Kiryu writes these very earnest summaries of the sub stories that are very funny because he's so honest about it, and he's so like, I don't know, there's something about the way he writes that is so funny. He's like, well, I became friends with a dominatrix and she wasn't very good at berating people, so I had to teach her how to do that. It was very hard, but I like a good challenge. And then he's like, P.S. does S&M interest you? It's like,
does it?
Yeah, well, he says like, wow, that sounds like you were taking the dominant position. Haba, waka, waka.
Well,
and
does he answer the question though?
He does. He says, I'm not interested in S or M, but I am. What really whips me up is you. Ha ha ha. When Kiryu gets on the show and he reads his postcard for the first time, he's so happy. He's so happy and pleased with himself. He's thrilled. So like I said, I told him about both the miracle. Oh, that's the thing. I sent the first one I tried is, well, surely he'll like the one where I like got dragged into being a TV producer. That's like perfect Dolce postcard. He doesn't read that one. He doesn't like it. He's like,
if I know my boy Dolce, I know. If I know my boy
Dolce, he'll love this. No, he likes the miracle ones, but he likes both of them, and he reuses the same joke, which I thought was funny. He's like, wow, that sounds like a real miracle. But when Kiryu writes about it, he doesn't call out Miracle Johnson's name. He's like, I met a miraculous global pop star, and then Kamiya Dolce's like, oh, could it be him? Could it be that one? So we send in the three postcards. And one more thing. When you talk about the dance battle at Maharaja against Miracle Johnson, Kiryu says, P.S. next time, victory is mine. He's going to kick his ass next time. He's going to practice.
Yakuza 02, the final face-off against Miracle Johnson.
That's who the final boss is. So it's his third postcard, and someone is knocking on the door, but Yamanoi's still asleep, and Marina isn't around. And Kiryu's like, ugh, I'm in the middle of something. I'm listening to my favorite radio show.
Why do I have to answer the door?
Well, no, he's mad. He's mad because Marina isn't there to answer the door while he's listening to his favorite show, Dolce de Postcard. So Kiryu opens the door, and a loud and lively man, that's his name, is there. And Kiryu's like, look, I'm in the middle of something. I can't talk to you right now. And he's like, are you Kazi-kun? And Kiryu's like, that's a really weird way to address someone you've never met before. Then Kamiya does his intro. He's like, hi, everyone, it's showtime. And then Kiryu freaks the fuck out. He's like, oh my god, it's Dolce Kamiya. And
my best friend.
My new best friend. And he's here to give Kiryu his $1 million prize. It's not AHA water, but it's something almost as good. It's the Hercules gloves.
Ooh,
they let you grab
yeah, those are
people
actually
for
really
longer.
good.
Those are really good. I always have those equipped. So this is one of my favorite moments in the entire series. Is that he gets the Hercules glove, and then he's like, "You did it, you won." And then Kiryu, he goes, "Can I shake your hand?" And he's like, "Of course." And then he shakes his hand, and I swear to God, we've both, I think, played all of the. I haven't played all of Yakuza 5, but I played all of the Kiryu stuff in Yakuza 5. I think this might be the greatest moment in this man's life. I don't think he ever tops getting to meet and shake the hand of
Dolce Camilla.
Dolce Camilla. He's so fucking pleased with himself. It's literally the greatest thing that has ever happened to him. And then Dolce Camilla leaves, and then Kiryu just goes, "All right, I got on air," and then the sub story ends. He's so happy. My sweet lad. All right, back to the story.
Oh, I forgot to mention also the fortune teller will become like a consultant for you at your real estate.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So back to the story. We're heading back to Little Asia to see Tachibana, who is just on dialysis. He's just been kind of sick the last few days and wasn't able to get out of bed or do anything. So he's been on like extra super dialysis.
You know how like modern society poisoned my brain was? Is I was thinking like, well, yeah, like of course he was on dialysis, but like couldn't he just answer his phone? I mean, he has a phone on him at all times that I remembered that it's 1988.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Oda had the phone, you see.
Yeah, but Tachibana is too weak to hold that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Maybe
doesn't
that
have...
was the one company cell phone for Tachibana Real Estate, and now it's in that construction site next to Oda's rotting corpse.
Yeah, well, actually, Oda didn't die because it blocked the bullet that Shibusawa shot at him.
And then he died of radiation poisoning.
Oh, yeah.
Topical.
Yeah, his brain popped like a piece of popcorn from
He's
using
like,
that
I'm
cell
so
phone too
glad
much."
that the phone saved my life. Now to call my friend, and then he died of brain cancer.
Yeah, he's in bed. Kiryu's like, this is Tachibana.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're okay. Tachibana awakes, and Kiryu's like, something bad happened. He explains the situation, basically.
Tachibana, something really good happened. Oda died.
Yeah.
Oda got canceled. And he's like, I didn't know that Oda was problematic, but I guess that's a good thing in the end.
I guess I'll have to unfollow him now.
That's awkward. Yeah, so Tachibana's like, oh, yeah, did Oda die off screen? And he's like, no, Oda died very much on screen.
Well, off screen for Kiryu, at least.
That's true. Yeah, when I don't see something, I say it's off screen. Tachibana says, like, wow, this is like the third person who's died because of me, I think. Something like that. He's racking up a body count around this whole business. And then he talks about racism some more. He says that he's experienced racism from Japanese people and Chinese people. And then he describes like climbing a bone ladder. I just wrote "climb the bone ladder."
Yeah, that's such a sick fucking line. He says to make it in this world, you need to devour your enemies and climb to the top on a ladder made of their bones. And I
think that Tachibana is trying to cut a promo.
I think he's been writing his new metal album while he's been on dialysis.
Yeah. I'm gonna climb that ladder of bones and I'm gonna become the new Intercontinental Champion this weekend at WrestleMania.
I'm coming for you, Andre the Giant.
He's gonna climb the bone ladder and get the New Japan contract at the top.
Yeah,
the bone ladder match. So he says like I had just gotten used to being morally gray when I saw that my mom and sister were in Japan.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, well, I abandoned all that pain years ago, you know, when I came to Japan, and I had just become numb to all of it, and then right when that happened, I saw my sister on TV, and I saw my sister came flooding back.
And then Oda did a comedy gulp sound, and I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, Oda started sweating and tugging at his collar, and
the floor became soaked with water, and I looked next to me, and Oda was just a waterfall of sweat.
He went, I don't know about this.
He tugged his collar so hard that the fabric just ripped clean off. And so when he realized that his sister would become a target because of the empty lot, he approached Kazuma, and then Kazuma said it would be very good and financially lucrative to begin to open up a real estate company. And Tachibana, that was like, Tachibana Real Estate was like Kazuma's outside ally in the Tojo clan.
Yeah.
And then also he says that that Kazuma just wants to rule the dojo from behind the scenes. We just get like explicit confirmation there that maybe Kiryu's dad is not as much of a good guy as we thought.
No, that is not. No, this scene is still supposed to make you think Kazuma's good because he says, well, Kazuma doesn't want Dojima to get too powerful because like Dojima's a fucking idiot and like his head'll swell if he'll become captain if he gets this empty lot deal to go through, and then eventually probably third chairman. And Kazuma doesn't want that to happen, so that's why he's been sabotaging it. So like you're still supposed to be like, wow, Kazuma, he's such a genius, and he's been, pulling the strings from behind the scenes to make this go exactly as he wants to, and
he's a puppet master. And if I've learned anything,
and that's a good thing. That's cool.
It's a good thing when people control people from behind the scenes. That's morally correct. I just met the finance king today, and he said that he was ethical. So then he says like, Makoto has every right to hate me because I learned from Masaru Sera. He called me on my phone and he told me that my sister is blind, and that it's my fault apparently.
Because she came to Japan.
Oh, that is true. It is objectively your fault. You're right, Tachibana.
Like
because she came to Sotenbori to look for him, and then he just says, "I need to see Xiao Qiao. This is the only reason I've lived this long. I keep my kidneys going every day in the hopes that I can see my sister again." And then Kiryu says, "Oh, she won't hate you, Tachibana. She needs your help." And then the Dojima family are here to break up the party.
The Dojima family's here, and they're like, "Hey, punks! We're here for Tachibana, but Kiryu's here too. That's fantastic. You're gonna die.
1.
2 for 1."
We knock over the dialysis. You can use the dialysis machine for a special dialysis related heat move.
Yes, you can. And it kills them because they already have good kidneys, and it makes their kidneys too good.
Their kidneys too good. Explode. What if your kidneys are over functioning?
You put your kidneys into overdrive. It shortens your lifespan.
That's Kiryu's ultimate. When they unlock like ultra heat moves or whatever in the Dragon Engine, that's what he's doing. He's just overclocking. He's overclocking his kidneys, but unlike a super powered game.
Yeah, I mean he needs to overclock his kidneys with all the fucking energy drinks he gulps down.
That's how you do it. You just drink so many energy drinks that your kidneys become powerful.
Like he's constantly on just like. It's a good thing like Four Loko doesn't exist in Yakuza world because, Kiryu would have gone bankrupt buying all of it.
It's so sad that we don't have the other characters that exist in the Yakuza that you get to play as yet, because I have some opinions on who would be the Four Loko boy of the Yakuza protagonist club.
Okay, sure. Tell me more later.
So, yeah, we fight through the goons, and then we need to leave Little Asia immediately and go to West Park where Makoto is. And Tachibana says, like, we just need to, as long as Dojima's after the empty lot, we just need to immediately process the paperwork, file it all, and then transfer the ownership of the empty lot. And then all of a sudden, a man who looks normal.
Well, before we see the man's face, we hear a couple of thwips. It's Spider-Man again, and he shot Kiryu twice. So I'm gonna keep a count here. Kiryu has been shot once and twice. We're gonna keep a running total over the course of the series.
You know what? I'll put it in the chat so we have it forever. As we progress. Been shot. I'll update this as we do it.
Fantastic.
Times. All right. So yes, he gets shot by a man who looks very normal, and we see his face. And here's a fun fact: so this man. Well, just to jump ahead a tiny bit, we'll just introduce this character. This man is named Lao Gui.
Yes.
He's an assassin from China, and if you're playing this game and you live in China, this guy doesn't look the same as he does in the rest of the games because his face is a little bit racist, I would say.
Yeah, very possibly. I'm not sure against what race, but like, yeah.
Well, he's Chinese. He's got like a Frankenstein face.
Yeah, I always just call him like the Frankenstein looking motherfucker, like.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a Monster Mash face, and in the Chinese version, he just kind of looks more like a normal dude.
Yeah, he just looks like a normal man because he's played by a normal man who is like an actor in like Hong Kong action films.
Yeah, And they just said, what if he had a Monster Mash face and everywhere else? So this guy...
There was actually a bug, like the original like North American release of the game it still had that guy's voice lines in the game. So like Lao Gui still looked like a Frankenstein Monster Mash, but he sounded like
a normal dude,
like someone who is actually Chinese and not like a Japanese person doing a Chinese voice.
But the guy speaks Chinese in the game.
Yeah, Lao Gui does. But I'm not sure if it's like an actual Chinese person doing the voice.
Fair enough. I gotta be honest. I don't think I could tell if a person speaking Chinese was Chinese or Japanese. And
no,
unfortunately, that's a gap in my skill set. So he does
this also had the result of making Lao Gui much more prominent in like the Chinese releases of the game, like for like the box art.
Is he like on the box?
Yeah, no, like I'm looking at it right now. It's something I never
honest?
I never brought it up to you, but like the very first post on our Twitter that's like coming soon, March of 2020, you can see Lao Gui, the Chinese version of him in the background. You used art from that.
I used the Chinese. Well, I'll say one thing, which is if Lao Gui was played by a a famous Chinese Hong Kong cinema action guy, and that was like who they went with, I think I'd rather have that version because
I would like to be able to like change that. I want that version. I want him to just be like a normal guy.
You don't like Monster Mash. I mean, it's so weird because he's like now one of the principal antagonists, and he just has inexplicable Frankenstein face. I have to say, the Yakuza series, and I think I've brought this up before, the Yakuza series relationship with people from China is extremely bad, and almost all of the Chinese characters,
pretty much any like mainland Asian country.
Yeah, China and Korea, the series has problems with. It's bad. Like, without spoilers, there's one, like, reoccurring Chinese villain who's, like, a triad guy, and it's a big problem. And then there's a Korean mafia later, and they're also a big problem. So we'll talk about that more when we get there.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself an expert on the types of racism that they have in Japan, but those are two definitely big kinds, and they are showing up in full force in this series. It's a big problem.
Yeah. But I will say, I mean... there's a pretty good chance that if he was a Japanese hitman, he'd also look like a Monster Mash. Like
that's fair.
I think that's a pretty standard, like, this is like a monstrous hitman. He's so efficient and killer. Like, he either just looks like a guy, like an Agent 47 type, or he looks like a Monster Mash.
That does happen sometimes in the series, but usually when someone looks Monster Mash or like has a weird face, they're usually not from Japan. And then if they're from America, they have like a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, they have a cowboy hat on. They are pale as the driven snow, and they're speaking English.
Can you tell me the way to the station?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so we find out a little more about Lao Gui, who has just popped Kiryu twice. Keep that in mind. And he's the most dangerous murderer mafia hitman in mainland China, and this is a guy that Tachibana has come across before, and he's so good that he can do a professional hit that makes it look just like an amateur did it. Like perhaps a botched shakedown in the middle of an empty lot at the beginning of the game. Do you get it? Yeah, so it turns out that Lao Gui is probably the guy who did the kill at the empty lot at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if you're skipping over it or not, but Lao Gui also does a series of jumps down from the rooftop.
Oh, it's so sick.
It's pretty sick.
Lao Gui rules. Honestly, though, like he does so many stunts in the brief time that we get to know him. He's such a stunt boy.
Yeah, he does a bunch of sick flips.
I just think the game doesn't treat Lao Gui with the respect he deserves. Like, yeah, he's a murderer and a bastard, but he's also very cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do 100 flips down from the roof to the empty lot, but he does it because he knows that even though no one's around, he wants to look cool for himself.
Yeah, look, treat yourself. Do a dozen flips.
Treat yourself to a couple flips.
Yeah.
This is like if we had been doing the revelation system that comes in Yakuza 3, where Kiryu could see people do cool flips and stunts and then learn new fighting moves. He would have learned one from watching this happen.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, only if he had his cell phone out at the time. And
that's true. That's right. Pictures. He couldn't do it because he doesn't have a blog. So yeah, he explains that he's here to take Tachibana alive, and not kill him. And he also doesn't give a shit about Kiryu. So Tachibana like picks up a shard of glass to be dramatic, and then he walks out and he like holds it to his neck and he's like, I'm not gonna let you, if you hurt Kiryu, I'll die and then you won't get the information. And then he said like, oh, that was never part of the plan, I'm just gonna capture you alive, so don't worry about it.
All right, yeah, let's go. And they just walk off.
And then Kiryu collapses from his 2 gunshots because he remembered he got shot twice. He forgot about it for a second.
He'll forget about it again pretty soon, don't worry.
Pretty much immediately.
Yeah, so he awakes in the same hospital bed, the dialysis bed. He's got bandages around his chest
to show that he's been injured.
Yeah, and presumably his leg, but he still has his pants on, so it's fine. They're no longer bloodstained. They've been cleaned and patched up.
Elder Chen is here wearing glasses to show that precisely 1 day has passed.
Was he not wearing glasses last time we saw him?
Yeah, he's still wearing them to show that time has passed, but not that much time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's daylight now. It's daytime, and Tachibana was taken by the Dojimas. It turns out that Shibusawa knew that he was here receiving dialysis because Oda, in the gift that keeps on giving, Oda has been feeding Shibusawa information about Tachibana the entire time.
Which we already knew, but Kiryu's finding out about now.
Yeah. My sworn brother who I'd do anything for, and also I'd kill his sister, and also I'd been ratting on him the entire time. Oda.
I'm gonna play the circus music again.
I'm so glad you're dead. Oh boy. Rest in shit.
Rest in shit, truly. Resting in shit.
What happens next?
What happens next is Kiryu needs to go get Makoto. Or needs to go find Tachibana or whatever. He's leaving.
Oh no, it's the Elder Chen is having his people look for Tachibana, and they'll let him know once they find him.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So he leaves Little Asia to go check up on Makoto.
There's this like complete nonsense part of this chapter that doesn't really mean anything, where Elder Chen explains the mentality of why Genzo Makimura, Makoto's grandfather, owns the empty lot.
Yeah, he explains all of that.
But he's not explaining it. He's just speculating on it. He's like, I guess the writers of the game were just like, the concept of this man owning this like 3 square meters of land in the middle of nowhere makes so little sense. Just like, why would you own that land? Elder Chen,
it's like interesting.
Elder Chen explains that like Genzo Makimura, her grandfather, like he had all this property and he had to sell it off after the war because he had no money, and he sells it in small bits at a time, but he saved that empty lot to keep 1 sliver of land, and he's like, I don't know why he did it, but I think he saved it to serve as a beacon to help find his daughter.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, okay, man.
He said, Makoto's mom arrives, and she doesn't speak any Japanese, and she says, well, first I'm going to go to City Hall and look up property holdings in Kamurocho, Tokyo, to see if I can find my dad. But then Elder Chen says, like, this is just what I think, but a father's love for his daughter, condemning his grandchildren to get caught up at the center of a Yakuza conflict. Isn't that a little fucked up? Wouldn't it be fucked up if that happened?
It's kind of fucked up, and it's your fault, Kiryu, because you're one of them. And it's your fault.
Ha ha ha! Yes! And then he says, we can't help Tachibana. We can't do any direct attacks on the Tojo, because then they would come in and level Little Asia. Like they think about doing once per game.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time to go find Makoto. So we're heading back to West Park. You walk out of Little Asia, and you don't make it very far because a bunch of Dojima goons are waiting outside. Oda's ghost told us you'd be here, Kiryu!
Yeah,
and then we ghost busted him!
Tell us where Makoto is, Kiryu. It's the end of the line. You got no friends, you got no allies, you got nobody to turn to. We even got Nishiki here, and he's like... He's not with you anymore. Yeah.
Remember you stole his car, and he's really pissed off about it.
Ain't that right, Nishiki?
And Nishiki says,
huh. You guys are you fucking
guys
idiots.
You got you. I totally owned you online.
Oh,
You fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
I'm not with you. I'm with my sworn brother, Kiryu. Don't try to talk me out of this. I don't want to be in a Tojo clan without you in it. I'm like we're making jokes as always, but I do really like
this.
This
is a sweet moment. We love this. It's brother time because
it's brother time, baby.
It's brother time. He says, Yakuza are the dumbest sons of a bitch alive. They'll take you right to me to the Kazuma, and I'm gonna fight with you side by side. And
you think, like, if this all goes through, Kazuma goes down, and I'm not gonna let that happen, and I'm not gonna let Kiryu die. I'm not doing, no, fuck you.
He says, I'm not interested in climbing the ranks without you. You and I are still brothers till and he says,
to the
till
very
death
end, till death do us part. They're married.
And then they get legally married. Then this is the moment that matters the most to me in my life, which is that Kiryu and Nishiki both rip their shirts off.
They rip their shirts off.
I don't think Kiryu hasn't done that in the game yet, I don't think. Or maybe he did it when he fought KUZE the first time.
He did it when he fought KUZE. No, wait.
But this is... No, he didn't.
He did
KUZE
not.
ripped his shirt off.
He did not. We pointed that out. Yeah, that he did not.
This is the
rip his
first
shirt
time
off.
that Kiryu rips his shirt off in his entire life. He figured out how to do it through the love of his brother. Because Nishiki showed him how to do it.
Nishiki showed him how to do it. He showed him the secret technique.
He says, "Check this shit out." He says, "Look at this." And he takes off.
He had his first revelation.
Oh my god, he showed him how to do it. He said, "Watch this, I can take off my suit in one swoop." And then Kiryu says, "Holy shit, that's rad." And then he does it, then he learns how to do it.
He learns how to do it.
He learns how to do it from Nishiki.
And they're standing and they're facing the goons, and they
you can see their tattoos.
Their backs are facing the camera, and you see their tattoos.
You can see the koi and the dragon.
Nishiki's got the koi. You've got the dragon.
Holy
they're just
shit.
outlines because they're boys. They're just little
boys.
Ones.
They're little dudes.
They're brothers.
Oh my god, Kiryu learned how to rip his shirt off from Nishiki. This is new canon Yakuza lore that I never thought about, and it's a fact. This is a fact now.
This is a fact. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the scene in general because I love this cutscene.
It's so good. And then then Nishiki says, "Let's rock and roll, bro." And then you get you get to fight with your brother. You get to have friendship time. It's so
friendship
good.
time. Friendship heat moves. It's so good.
They're doing boys moves only.
Dudes
kicking
rock.
ass.
Dudes rock.
Dudes rock this week. This week on Like a Podcast. Dudes rock. Brothers rock.
Kyodai rock.
Kyodai rock, hell yeah. We gotta edit in. I think it's our outro music this week. We gotta.
I'm absolutely going to do that. Is the duet version of Judgment that somebody edited
both
together.
Nishiki and Kiryu. Yes,
Hero.
It's so good. Just a legends only. Best part of the game. We've done it. We've defeated the Yakuza with the power of brotherhood, and now it's time for Nishiki and Kiryu to go to West Park.
I want to point out a very good heat move they have together.
Please, by all means.
Yeah, because they do have special heat moves. There's one where, like, if somebody's going to attack Nishiki, you can activate it then, and Kiryu will block the punch and just knock the guy out, and then
hell yeah.
Nishiki will say thanks, bro, and then they'll go back to fighting.
High five.
Yeah.
Kiryu pulls out his pliers to rip someone's teeth out, and then Nishiki puts them away, and he says, "No, Kiryu, that's gross. Don't do it." And then they punch together, and it's like, "Thanks, Nishiki. That one's really gross." This is one of those parts where I can't write down what they're saying on the walk because I need to play the game. But I did note down that, like, as they're walking to West Park, Nishiki says, like, "Damn, that night that we were eating ramen at the beginning of the game," which I think was only like a week ago. It feels like a million years ago.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the time moves quick. At least this isn't one of those stories that like takes place over the course of one day.
Yeah, it's no JoJo Part 5. Well, actually, it is a JoJo Part 5.
Kinda, a little bit.
Not quite as grand in scope, but it is over about the same course of time.
Yeah, it's like 1 week and a very busy week.
It's 1 week.
It's been. So they get back to the shack. They meet up with bearded homeless man. Then Kiryu explains the plot of Yakuza 0 to both Nishiki and Makoto.
Yes.
Off screen. So that's the hat trick. He's done it to 3 people now. They now know the plot of this game.
And Nishiki says, "Wow, those two are brothers? That's fucked up. That's wild."
I wonder if he tells them how it ends. He's like, look, Makoto, you're not gonna like this. I'm just kidding. That's not how the game ends. But he's like, I went to the fortune teller today, and she told me about my entire life, and there's some things you need to know.
Nishiki, I've got a sneaking suspicion something's going to happen about 10 years from now.
Just watch out. So, we need to get... we get a pager message that says, call Elder Chen at the payphone. So Kiryu goes and he sings the hit Maroon 5 song, Payphone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's called payphone. Those are two words that share a meaning.
I've never heard the song, is what I'm saying. I've never heard of that song.
I see. You've never heard the hit Maroon 5 song Payphone?
No,
Chances are
I only
you
listen to
have,
bad music.
I see. Like another song about a payphone.
Yeah.
The real thing that I want to talk about is you never see payphones anymore these days. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah, nowadays you don't see pay phones, you just see cell phones.
All these cell phones and all these kids playing their apps and
they don't just
Candy
look
Crush.
they don't just look you in the eye anymore. They always be on their cell phones.
I'll tell you something. These smartphones, I don't think they're that smart. They should call them dumb phones.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. Anyways, you call Master Chen. Master Chen tells you all of that
Elder
about
Chen,
the dumb phone.
But he is the master.
Yeah. And Master Chen says after he's
his
done
name
ranting,
is Elder Chen. He's not Master Chen. They never call him Master Chen. But good try.
I'm sorry, Elder Chen, Mr. Chen. The Crimson Chen.
Elder Chen. They call him the Crimson Chen.
He says, "Okay, well, we found out where Tachibana is. He is in the what's the name of the building?
It doesn't matter. It's the Crescendo building.
Yeah, I think it's literally the Crescendo building.
It's called the Climax building.
Yeah, it's called the on the nose building.
Mm-hmm. It's called Do You Get It? And it's also right next to the empty lot.
Yeah, it is adjacent to the empty lot.
It's called the Building of Plot
KUZE
Importance.
Is the one that's taken him. There's only like 7 guys there. Yeah. KUZE and his guys have taken them there. KUZE is now following Shibusawa's orders. He's no longer following Awano.
And he's also not following his own orders because he's lost his permission to make his own decisions in life.
He's kind of run out of options. He's getting desperate. We cut to the Crescendo building before Kiryu and Nishiki get there. Mm-hmm. And Tachibana is getting tortured.
It's not great.
It's not great. Yoneda, the guy who we did drop kick
that's what his
out
name
of the
is.
bathroom window. Yeah.
God, he's pissed though. This is why he's doing this. It's because he's so pissed. Yeah,
he still has the bandages all over his face and everything from getting beat up 1,000 times and drop kicked out a window, as we said.
When you fall out of a window, you need to get band-aids. And then Tachibana's like cut up. He's bruised and beaten. And
he says, which little piggies are we gonna smash next?
Yeah, he like smashes his entire foot with a sledgehammer, and it's disgusting.
We got two piggies with that one.
That kind of stuff just makes me vom. It's disgusting.
And then Tachibana says, counting fingers and toes, you've only got 8 left.
This is Metal Gear Solid dialogue to me.
Yeah, smashing fingers and toes are full of nerve clusters and thus are very good for inflicting pain. But you've only got 8 left.
This is
8 toes, more than enough to kill anything that moves.
God, this is fucking Kojima dialogue. I can imagine like what's his name? Colonel.
This is an MGS5.
Like Ocelot, like 8 toes. Enough to toes and fingers are filled with a lot of nerve endings, Snake, and a lot of people. But you only got 8 shots to get the information out of them. But I know a way to make people talk.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like one of the lead-ins to the UE scenes.
Yeah, but the fucking God, I hate like Tachibana. I get it, you're being epic right now, but he's like, you only got 8 chances to make me talk. I'm not gonna tell you. You think you can make me? You think you can make me talk? And then KUZE's like,
okay, boys, we're not gonna get him to talk.
Yeah, he explains like he's mad at Yoneda. He's like, you're not torturing good enough. You're yelling too much. You need to be nice to him. And he says like, "Oh, if I don't get this information, Shibusawa's going to be so pissed off."
If you kill him, we're not gonna. If you kill him without getting the information out of him, this was all fucking pointless, you idiot.
Yeah.
So he goes to like untie Tachibana, and Yoneda's like, "Hey, I just joined up because I like to hit people. What do you want from me?" And KUZE's like, I remember why I joined up, to beat up on guys that are stronger than me. And punks
That's
like
why
you.
I'm torturing. Yeah,
punks like you piss me off. So he goes to untie Tachibana, and as he's doing so, Tachibana looks up at Yoneda and kind of smirks at him.
Yeah, he does. I hate like Tachibana. Come on.
I feel like this was kind of part of his plan, sort of.
Was to be epic. Was to be epic at him.
Well, yeah, was to be epic and get brained with a sledgehammer, which is what happens.
Yeah, I meant to do that. Oh, it's horrible. Because this is the thing. Because like I'm pretty sure in Japan, like games are not allowed to be like gory. So when Yoneda, like he sees him smirking, he just gets so pissed off and he's like, "What are you looking at?" And then he hits him in the side of the head with the sledgehammer, and like he doesn't brain him, like nothing cracks or breaks or comes out. But you see this moment, and I think it's very effective because you see the like collision and it like slows down, and that's just the moment they're like, "Welp."
Yeah, this is over. And
that Tachibana is not going to get out of that one.
Yeah,
it's just like there's something super viscerally like they could do gory, they could do bloody, but just that impact where there's no bloodshed, but you just feel like and you're like, oh
yeah,
yep, that's a head injury that is completely fatal.
Yeah, and KUZE agrees because he immediately inflicts the same head injury to Yoneda.
Yeah, he slams Yoneda's head on the ground.
Yoneda is dead. Like, he is dead.
Did he kill Yoneda?
He killed Yoneda. So. Yoneda's fucking dead.
So, like, here's the thing about this is that, and I know, haha, gameplay, whatever, Kiryu shoots people with guns sometimes and they don't die, but whenever, because you can hit people with sledgehammers in this game, and there's a sledgehammer heat move where Kiryu, like, hits them.
He does the same thing that Yoneda did, but he does it, like, 5 times.
Yeah, every time I see that heat move, I'm like, that's the thing that killed Tachibana. There, he's doing it to that guy.
Yeah, he's doing it to that guy.
Yeah, so Tachibana's like, he's got a little bit left in him, but you know that this dude is fading very quickly.
Someone get this man a stamina Royale, quick.
He needs to, he pours it between his lips.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, Kiryu runs in and punches the sunglasses off KUZE's face, and it's one of the best things.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good punch.
Yeah, it's then that Kiryu and Nishiki walks in, and Kiryu sees Tachibana, and KUZE's just like, hey, right on time. This wasn't so bad.
Whenever Kiryu screams KUZE, that's just the good shit.
I've watched this like fight intro.
Top 10 anime punches is
Kiryu
punching
I've watched
the
it so many times.
It's so fucking good. This scene, but this fight is like hampered by the fact that we've just watched our friend get killed. Basically,
yeah. I still just I want to dwell on that fight intro for a little bit more. Just the way it slows down. You get the nice like impact on KUZE's face, his glasses flying off. Is this
so the most satisfying beatdown of KUZE? Because he really deserved it. I mean, actually, KUZE didn't do it. He was gonna, but it's just, I just love to beat this man.
Yeah, but KUZE's still not like, he's not sad about it. Yeah, no, he's not sorry that it happened. And as soon as Kiryu walks in, he's like, "Hey, great to see you, kid.
Great to see you. Maybe you know where the empty lot owner is."
Yeah, exactly.
So this time when you fight KUZE, there's a bunch of other guys. Not Yoneda, which is good because Yoneda has been offed.
Yoneda's dead, but you've got Nishiki now.
So you get some bro time, but it's not as fun now because someone has just been horribly killed.
Tachibana is a piece of geometry in the arena too. Like,
yeah, you have to like fight around him exactly. He's you can't pick him up and use him for a heat move, sadly. What if there was like you know how like Tachibana has like tag team heat moves when you're fighting with him at the Tojo headquarters? It'd be good if you could like go near him and he would like just like weakly stick his leg out and trick people with it. I'm trying to make comedy jokes about it because I'm very sad because I like Tachibana a lot. So you kick KUZE's ass, of course. You clean up, use the fun heat moves. There's a lot of good things to hit people with here.
You've got like some mannequins and shit.
KUZE's lying face down on the pavement when the smoke clears, and Nishiki goes to help Tachibana get up, but he ain't getting up. He cannot stand.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is very sad. So yeah, he Kiryu like apologizes for getting here so late, and then
Tachibana.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's okay. It's fine.
You did everything right. And then Kiryu's like, please don't die. Your sister's right outside. She's right here. And then Nishiki's like, he like tells Nishiki to go get Makoto so she can see her brother before he dies.
Tachibana says, I'm sorry. I'm not going to make it, Kiryu.
One last thing.
It's
about, yeah.
He closes his eyes for the last time.
No, he tells you two things. Number one, he's like, Lao Gui, the one controlling him, it's Sohei Dojima. He's been pulling all the strings. He's the one who wanted to drive out Kazuma, so he framed you. And last thing I need to tell you, it's about shutting off the power. The secret of my ability is... And then he dies. And we never get to find out what that thing about turning off the power for 10 seconds meant. It never came up again.
Kiryu is beside himself.
Oh, this is like when Kiryu
cries.
When Kiryu cries, like, he's a man who lets his tears come out when they need to. But it only happens every once in a while. Not even like when people close to him die, he doesn't always cry about it. But he gets like 2 real good tears in this one.
Yeah,
and he like screams.
Yeah,
he is distraught about this. He is not happy, and neither am I. But the worst part of the scene has yet to happen, because here's where the real sad stuff begins. This is awful.
We're not going out into the alleyway yet, are we?
No, that's what happens next. Besides, like, Kiryu tells Tachibana that he'll keep his sister safe. And then he picks him up and he takes him out into the empty lot.
But before he goes, KUZE...
Oh, right. Fucking KUZE.
KUZE
to like...
is like...
Yeah.
What does he say? He's like...
He says, this is like... This, I actually kind of hate this because like... He interrupts this very emotional moment to talk to Kiryu about some shit that doesn't matter, because he's like, there's a traitor. Someone's going to sell the empty lot to the Omi Alliance,
yeah, somebody's going to sell it to the Omi Alliance. Kiryu, if the Omi Alliance gets it, they'll march on Tokyo. It'll be chaos. There will be a full-on war.
And then Kiryu says, I don't care about the Tojo clan anymore, and if anyone touches Makoto, I'll burn this clan to the ground single-handedly. Every last one of you. I swear.
I mean,
he could do it.
It's kind of, it's melodramatic, but I do like that line.
I love it. That's the thing, is that it's so bad, it's so dumb that KUZE brings this up right now after something really sad happened and something even sadder is about to happen. But I also do love Kiryu being so pissed off that he will single-handedly destroy the entire Tojo clan.
Yeah, and
which he could do.
He says it with such conviction. You do believe that he could do it.
Oh, I know he could do it. Like, all 20,000 people, no problem. And then as he leaves, KUZE's like, that little punk. He really turned into a
real
Yakuza,
Yakuza, huh?
He went from Yakuza 0 to Yakuza Kiwami Extreme.
To Yakuza Hero.
Yes. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. Here's the saddest part.
Kiryu kicks open the door right into the empty lot, as it turns out.
Yep. Yeah, it's literally right there. And he's got Tachibana's dead body.
Yeah,
and then...
Nishiki comes in with Makoto. Makoto says, brother, is that you?
It sucks so bad.
She comes up, she feels him, she feels the wounds
she like
on
touches
his body,
his hand, and she feels like how cold he is.
His clammy skin, and she drops her cane, and
yeah, she's like, oh god, she says like, because she's, she says like, oh Ni-chan, you're sleeping.
You're sleeping.
Tired.
You're tired. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna.
And
be
then the
okay.
last thing she says is like, she says tadaima, which means I'm home. That's what you say when you're home.
God.
And it's so sad.
Jesus.
Genuinely, just truly beyond upsetting moment in this game. This is so sad. It makes me so sad.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna play the sub-story sad music.
No,
I promise.
Like, it was funny when Wenhai Lee it wasn't funny when Wenhai Lee turned into a skeleton, but it was like there was comedy to be made. There's nothing funny to say about this scene.
Yeah,
it just makes me.
This is just tragic.
It's very depressing.
And not in the Last of Us 2 way. It's like it's
rough. It's
good.
Real rough. But it is good. It's very effective at making you super sad. Makoto Makimura has had a fucking... Dude, you know that meme that's been going around that it's the picture of Ellie from The Last of Us 2, and it's like, name a character who's gone through more pain.
Yeah, Makoto Makimura.
And and then everyone's like posting the funny images, and I'm just like, it's Makoto Makimura.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm doing that.
Yeah. Just post that in the comments. Everyone spam the comments.
I'm going to do that from the show account as soon as we're done recording.
Oh, hell yeah, do it. Yeah, that's the end of the chapter. And I don't believe we have any questions because I think I just now realized that I forgot to put up the post, unfortunately.
Rip.
The question from a friend of the show, me, and it says, how upset did that ending make you when you first played it?
Very.
Extremely. It made me upset the second time knowing what was happening. It sucks. It's so sad. Anyways, on that note, we're done with this chapter, and I'm glad that I don't need to talk about that scene ever again.
Oof.
I think that's probably top number one saddest Yakuza moments, and there are some very sad moments in this series, but I think that one is almost certainly at the top.
Yeah, you go to TV tropes and you go to the tearjerker page. This is right at the top.
This is crowning moment of sadness.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. I mean, I guess we just wrap it up now. On that note, do you have anything funny and lighthearted to say to make this a little less sad?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Media King shows up and he says, that's rough, buddy, and then he does his funny disco pose, and that's the end of the chapter.
I think next week we're going to have some fun with Majima and Kamurocho, but until then...
Okay, the fun with Majima and Kamurocho is also really depressing, but in a very funny way. And I don't know, we
get some pretty goofy moments in the...
I'm really excited for next week's chapter. Unfortunately, you're going to have to drive back to Sotenbori to do some
cabaret I'm going to have to do a whole lot of cabaret.
A whole lot of cabaret. Are you in what you have last one, right?
I have 2 left, and then the finale part.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Sorry about the depressing content. Them's the breaks, them's the games. Sometimes things aren't so happy in this series or funny. But also, think about Kiryu learning how to rip his shirt off from Nishiki, because that's great.
That's good and funny and crowning moment of heartwarming.
Crowning moment of heartwarming. You can find all of our episodes at yakuzapod.com. Find us, listen to us, give us a like and a review, tell your friends, spread the word, and just keep on riding that Yakuza train. You can find me at twitter.com/BrightopusRex. You can find, by the way, you can find our podcast at twitter.com/podcastgagotoku. That's podcast GAGOTOKU at Twitter. And you can find all of our questions there if you have a question. I usually post a little question post a few days in advance, but today I forgot. I was too busy wrapped up in the clutches of the Leisure King, or the Media King. Where can we find you, Argyle?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Argyle_Funk. You can also listen to my other podcast. It is about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's called Pot of Greed. You were on
Pot of Greed? I'd never be on that.
Yeah, you'd never be on that exactly 1 week ago on an episode that I don't believe has been posted yet, but will be posted.
No, it's up. It's up.
Oh, it is up? Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you were on an episode. I wasn't on that one.
I did not. I was not ready for apparently things that were going to happen on Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point in the show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, because it's a very different arc from... It's completely separate from any of the other arcs.
Capsule Monster's bad.
As I understand, you used the opportunity to talk about the Artemis Fowl movie, so...
I couldn't help myself.
Anyways, listen to that. It's good. And other than that, that's pretty much it.
You can find my other podcast, Jergin It. We at secretlifepod.com. We watched the bad show of The Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Except you don't watch it anymore.
We don't watch it anymore, but we talk about it a lot because we're reading Secret Life Season 6 fan fiction.
Wasn't that taken down?
No. It was... we were reading another one for Patreon, and that one got taken down. That one has been cruelly snatched from our grasp.
Rip and piss.
But the season 6 one that we're reading is still going strong, and we're
Fantastic.
getting down to the, much like we're almost done with Yakuza 0, like a couple weeks, we are almost done with that fan fiction, which is exciting.
Nice.
And what else go listen to all of our episodes if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't have already. Hey, go play Yakuza 0. I'm pretty sure some of them are on sale right now.
Or listen to the Yakuza 0 soundtrack on Spotify.
Oh god, yeah, do that. You know, I was just thinking about it today that like, oh, if anyone's listening to this and hasn't played Yakuza 0, definitely give it a play. Play all of them, honestly. I also recommend if you haven't played any of these games and you want something that's really nice and self-contained, that has the same kind of setting and gameplay, play Judgment, because that game owns.
Yeah.
Definitely play Judgment. And play all the Yakuza games. I know we like talk about the whole plot and spoil everything, but there's so much. Like I was looking at the map today, there's so much stuff that we have not talked about. Like so much content, so many side stories. All of
for
the
sure.
like training stuff that we never do. There's all stories about that. There's so much to this game. It's just like an endless wealth of content. So even when we're done talking about Yakuza 0, no, we have not. We have barely broken the crust of this creme brulee. As it were. Yeah, it's a great game. And I'm just kind of sad that we're almost done with it, especially because I don't like the next one that much.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. But stay tuned, and thank you very much for listening. And as always, Kiwami means extreme.
Goodbye.
Justice will bring